Hi guys, it's Shell, Sunbury Housewives. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to our channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button to see future videos. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Everything I use will be in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. Also, the website is available for you to look at if you are interested in purchasing any tumblers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm starting with a 20 ounce, of course, sublimation tumbler. And I went ahead and sanded it lightly and cleaned it off with 91% alcohol. And I'm going to go ahead and paint it with this Cashew by Waverly chalk paint. I wanted the base to be this tan color. I'm going to make a coffee swirl cup. So I didn't want to start with white. I didn't know if the white would interfere with what I was wanting to achieve. So I just went ahead and painted it. And I let that dry. And once that was dry, I mixed up 20 milliliters of epoxy and added Marshmallow from the Glitter Heart Co. into my epoxy and mix that in. And once that was mixed in, I'm going to completely, I set a little bit of the epoxy aside before I mixed in the Marshmallow. So I probably only used about 15 milliliters on this, this tumbler to cover it. So I'm adding the epoxy on, getting a nice base coat and evening it out. Once that's done, I am dropping some ink. This is Latte by Tim Holtz, and I'm just randomly dropping the inks. And then I move into, not sure yet, Caramel by Tim Holtz, and I'm doing the same thing here, just randomly dropping it all along the tumbler. I'm using several different inks. These two were the main ones that I used, and then I did use a brown. It was called Coffee, but I don't know the name of the company, but I will list it in the description box below, and dropped it on there as well. And that was a really pretty brown alcohol ink. And then I wanted to add just a little bit extra darker on there, so I did grab my Let's Resin Black, but I since we've known from previous tutorials how that black likes to take over, I did just put it on a popsicle stick and kind of touched the tumbler so that it did not take over. And that was more than enough. So the 5 milliliters that I had set aside, I am adding in the snow cap from Ranger into that epoxy and going to swirl that. I do add, I believe, Latte, a drop of Latte and a drop of coffee into this mixture just to give it more of a tan, so that it's not stark white, and mix that together before I drizzle it onto the tumbler. I generously drizzle this white mixture all over the tumbler. I believe I do use the entire 5 milliliters. So now that this tumbler has a total of 20 milliliters of epoxy on the tumbler. And then once I get all of the drizzle, the extra epoxy on, I will take my heat gun and on a low heat setting, I start to blow the hot air so that I can get those inks moving. And that will cause all of this to swirl and look like a nice hot cup of coffee. And as you can see there, just that little bit of black that I put on there started to take control. So I definitely could have used even less black. So I switched my turner to get it turning the other way. And then that was enough heat. And I'm going to tilt my turner up to get some of those inks moving up the turner. And then I'll tilt it down to do the same thing as well. And I let this spin overnight until it was cured. Once it was cured, I had cut out vinyl, and this is what I went with. So this says, I don't need an inspirational quote, I just need coffee. I thought that was so super cute. So I found this on Creative Fabrica. So I'm placing this on the tumbler, and I wanted to kind of cover up that one big dark spot. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I wanted to cover that up. I wanted to see more of the swirls. So I did place that there. I cut out a piece of brown for the offset. And here I'm just measuring. I never measure, but today I wanted to measure for some reason to make sure it was level. And then a piece of ivory vinyl on top for the wording. And I thought that was very fitting for a coffee cup. But I also cut out in gold coffee beans and kind of a take on like a cheetah print swirl. I wanted to do coffee beans instead. I thought it was perfect for this cup, for a cup of coffee. So I did add, after I take off this transfer sheet for the decal, I do add coffee beans going from one end all the way up to the top in a swirl pattern. And I think this just definitely added to the tumbler without taking away any of the swirl or covering it up mostly. I think it added to it. I do seal all this vinyl twice with my Rustoleum clear spray and give it 2 coats of epoxy. And this baby is done. I love it. I think the quote is so fitting. The coffee beans I'm so happy that I added those and that I used gold that was really different than the actual vinyl. I don't know. I just love this so much. This will be available on the website for purchase if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Give this video a great big thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.